An all too brief overview of 9 distinct core perspectives. When we understand somebody's perspective, we can literally take a walk in their shoes. My name is Marcel Elvers and I'm the author of We Are the Same, It's the Details That Differ. It's an overview of behavioral style, motivation and predictability. Personality is nothing else than a repetitive response to an internal dialogue. How we think and feel determines what we do. I call this think, feel and do. We also tend to repeat what we know best. So there are 9 distinct internal dialogues as a result of how we view ourselves within our environment. 1 do not feel good enough, 2 feels unloved, 3 feels not worthy unless they succeed, 4 feel different, excluded and flawed. 5 feel their needs are not important to others, 6 don't feel supported, 7 don't feel nurtured and deprived, 8 feel they cannot rely on others and feel vulnerable, whereas 9 don't feel important and not listened to. So from our internal dialogue, we create a key need. And that becomes our perspective. And your perspective is your reality. It's your filter. So when you think you're not good enough, you learn to be better. And therefore you avoid criticism. And if you don't feel worthy of love, you learn to earn love and appreciation by being good to others, and you avoid your own needs. If you don't feel worthy unless you succeed, you learn to succeed and you avoid failure. If you feel you're not seen for who you are because you feel excluded and different, you learn to distinguish yourself to be included and you avoid insignificance. If you don't feel acknowledged and your needs are not important, you learn to compensate by providing specialized knowledge in order to fit in. They avoid incompetence. If you don't feel supported, you learn to do what is expected of you and you avoid loss of support. If you feel deprived and not taken care of, you learn to get what you want and you avoid deprivation. If you don't feel protected, you learn to protect yourself and you avoid being vulnerable. If you feel not important and not listened to, you learn to keep a low profile by becoming amicable and agreeable, and you avoid conflict. These 9 core perspectives are distinct. As an example, we can also say that our perspectives become our focus, which of course develops a natural strength. If you don't feel worthy of love and you learn to earn love and appreciation by being good to others, you develop empathy like the late Princess Diana. If you feel you must succeed, you learn to persevere like Mitt Romney. If you feel different and excluded, you learn to distinguish yourself by being original like Marilyn Manson. If you feel unacknowledged and your needs are not important, then you learn to provide specialized knowledge in order to fit in, and therefore you learn to discern like Rachel Maddow. If you feel you're not supported, you learn to follow the rules and you become loyal like Rush Limbaugh. If you feel deprived and you must fulfill yourself by finding the next thrill, you learn to become spontaneous, like Elton John. If you feel vulnerable and you must protect yourself with an in-your-face attitude, you develop candor, like Nancy Grace. If you feel you don't matter and you become agreeable and amicable, you develop tolerance, like Sandra Bullock. And if you feel you must be better, you learn to become idealistic by improving yourself and the world, like Bill O'Reilly. And so, what we think and do becomes our natural strength. And this is a distinct, consistent, and identifiable pattern